OMG BBG! Welcome back to another BBG Talks episode. Today we have probably the most exciting topic we've ever talked about on our BBG Talks.
Happy days
segment.
indeed.
Yeah.
So
as you can tell from the title, we are getting a brand new generation of Beyblade on the way.
New Beyblade generation confirmed.
Not a new season of Beyblade Burst.
Not a new season, not a new product, but a new generation. So first one was Plastic Gen, second one was Metal Fight, third one was Beyblade Burst, and there's gonna be a new like Sega in general.
So a new fourth generation entirely.
So that's actually pretty big news because
huge.
We got a break after Metal Fight, right? Now we have Beyblade Burst BU still ongoing. Well, obviously there's no anime right now, but we still got new products.
Takara Tomy's actually like actively pumping out new products. Between that break of Metal Fight and Burst, we had to rely on Hasbro to pump out Beyblade Legends at the time, which saved the community in my opinion, because they were really good releases. And it was the only thing that we had going for us at the time, right? Like all the Beyblade fans could only look forward to Beyblade Legends.
Like 2013, 2014, those were the dark days.
Like that we were doing stuff like Top Plate and stuff. Do you remember Top Plate? Yeah, just like all these spin-offs of Beyblade, but we may not have to like deal with something like that ever again. So you may have seen the news being talked about over the last like week or so, because there's been a discovery by a bunch of other like Baytubers and other community members.
The finance bros. Listening to the financial calls, fiscal year end, of Takara Tomy's kind of development plan.
Which is funny is because this news in particular has been around since like May, but no one has talked about it for the last couple of months because no one is looking at this. So essentially there was a conference talking about the future of the Takara Tomy brand in Japan, and there was like an interview and everything like that, and the CEO and a bunch of directors were talking about what their future plans are, how the brand is doing, and it's inside this document where they reveal that there's a fourth generation of Beyblade.
We kind of have guessed that there's definitely going to be a new Beyblade generation, but we don't really know when, the timeline, or if it's in development right now, or if it's after Beyblade Burst BU that they're going to work on it, right? But now it's confirmed in this little snippet where there's a Q&A talking about like, tell us the status of the development of your major global products. And of course, Beyblade for the Tomy company is a huge asset. So this sentence right here, I'll read it out, says, in Europe, Beyblade is becoming an evergreen product series. We are currently working on development on the fourth generation of the series.
That's literally like the only sentence that talks about Beyblade pretty much, and it's the most important one. And
that's all we need to hear from the official source. So that means they're actually working on it as we speak. There's going to be the fourth gen. So this is completely going to be crazy because no more Beyblade Burst, which is crazy because that's like 7 years of our life. Beyblade Burst being its generation.
A lot of new viewers were like, basically started watching us when Burst started already, right? And a lot of the people that grew up with Metal Fight, they're grown up, or not grown up, but like they may have like fell out of love with the brand now, right? And at this point, like maybe they're gonna come back, right? This new generation.
There's always gonna be new generations of people, customers, right? So it's nice that they are thinking of that and not just killing the brand altogether. So Beyblade's gonna go on forever. Like this is just gonna be a new concept.
The key part of that as well, like not just the fourth generation coming, it's the fact that in Europe they're saying that Beyblade is becoming an evergreen product series, which is a big deal because that means that Beyblade is becoming so popular in Europe that it's always relevant. So in Japan, Beyblade is kind of already like an evergreen product. It's something that people talk about still, right? They reference it in other animes and stuff like that. Like it's part of their culture since the late 90s. But in Europe, not so much, maybe not even in North America. So for you people that don't know what an evergreen product is, I just pulled up like a quick definition of what it is in Google. To put simply, it's content that retains relevance. It's not time sensitive and continues to drive traffic long after it is first published. So
it's like a sustained project that they continue to work on, and just it's like a long-term thing, right?
Which means that there's probably not going to be hiatuses between generations anymore, which we saw before, right?
Yeah.
So now it's pretty obvious when you think about it, like BU is still going on even without an anime, right? They could have easily just stopped it right there after DB, right? No more anime, no more products. We have to count on Hasbro to pump out some new stuff for us, but they're still going. So that's a good sign. That means that Beyblade's going to be sticking around, hopefully, forever. And year after year, we're going to get new products, new anime. It's going to be like Pokemon. It's just like televised 24/7, right? There's new products, new games coming out every year. This might be that turning point for Beyblade that we've been talking about for years now.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all like the business aspect of where they're heading. But what I want to know is, how are they going to do the 4th gen? So no more Beyblade burst, like no more bays that burst anymore? Or are we just going to not focus too much on the burst? Is it going to be an entirely new system? If it is, then that means we're restarting from scratch. We're going to see bays that are like 30 grams, right? Like pre-dual layer.
Yeah, it's true.
And then it's going to be that transition point where the burst lover is going to hate on the 4th gen. Just like how Metal Fight lovers hated on Beyblade Burst when it first started. Right?
That was kind of like us too at first too. We're like, why do our bays burst? Like, this is so stupid. And that's what we thought for the first like 6 months to a year maybe. In the back of our heads, we're like, yeah, Metal Fight's still where it's at. But now, after we got used to it, we're like, yo, we love burst. Like, that extra feature is so sweet, right?
Yeah, and the clicking mechanism, the whole system is just way more detailed and defined. So yeah, like burst is where it's at now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, after all these years. So it would be interesting to see that restart.
It would be nice to see the burst gimmick still be retained in the upcoming generation, but not as focused. So for example, like instead of seeing a burst every single episode of the anime, we see a burst like one every 20 episodes. Like, make a burst actually a big deal.
Okay, so or are they gonna introduce some brand new concept like like 0G, for example, like if the whole that is a new
stadium like
play style, right? So what are they gonna do for the 4th gen? Man,
0G, like,
excited to hear.
Strayed like too far from traditional Beyblade almost, that like I feel like that kind of killed it. Like, not that many people were excited about 0G. That's why people still don't really talk about it now, right? So they can't go too crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just super curious to know what the 4th gen will bring. I want to hear from you guys, what you guys think of the news, and like what are fans looking forward to?
What I'm very curious about is, what is that anime going to look like? Are we headed back towards more fantasy stuff? Like, 1st gen and Metal Fight, where they got so powerful they could,
break mountains,
swallow up the ocean and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Or it's going to be more sport again,
part like the seas, like Moses.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to know what the anime is going to be like. I personally, as an anime lover, I want to see a little bit more fantasy in it, because I like the extra wow factor from watching something like that. I understand that there's a lot of people that don't like that because they want it to be representative of the
more
toys,
of a sport,
and and the products that they're buying, right? Like, more accurate to the product. So I get that too.
Yeah, so the question of this BBG Talks is, what do you guys think, and what do you want to see from the 4th major comeback of Beyblade as a brand? I feel like it's gonna be like 2023 is when it'll start. But, is that too early or is that too late?
Well, all the rumors do point to 2023, so it's a very high chance.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, it's
like right after BU ends.
Exactly. Yeah, so all of the arrows and everything like that are pointing towards 2023, sometime maybe spring or summer. So it's actually a lot closer than we think. Like, 1 year from now, basically, we could be in the middle of the 4th generation of Beyblade.
The start of it all.
Yeah.
Like some sort of pre-dual layer season where there's no anime or something.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Like some sort of prototype.
I don't mind that stage, to be honest. Like, I don't mind that stage at all. Like, having like kind of just like tester products, and getting a feeler for everything, having all of the advertisements like up in stores and stuff like that, hyping us up for the launch of the anime. Like, I don't mind that year of, very simple products.
I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. So let us know in the comment section below what you guys think of this huge news and announcement from Beyblade.
So hyped up. So for all you people that thought that this was the end of Beyblade, it is not. We have another generation coming. You're going to be seeing us making videos for another 7 years on these guys. So stay tuned, subscribe. You're going to be here forever. So yeah. Let's dive into comments, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so I have one here from the last BBG Talks about Zest Achilles, which is going to be the next BU release. Board Boy says, Achilles be like, Spriggan, remember that one time you stole my driver in GT? I never forget that. So that's actually true, because now that Achilles is stealing all the gimmicks from Spriggan, but technically Spriggan also took the driver from Achilles.
Right, Dimension.
Yeah. From Lord Spriggan, right?
Yeah.
But that's not really Shrewsbury, but I get the point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's a good comment.
Yeah,
That's
and also
funny.
saw some comments about Diabolos also got that flipping gimmick, right? The dual spin gimmick first.
Oh, yeah, Master Diabolos.
Master Diabolos,
yeah,
so-
before Spriggan got it.
So they're all just stealing from each other. They all want to improve their parts, so
So Achilles was like the first victim of their parts being stolen. Then he's like, all right, I'm going in now. I'm stealing every balance type's gimmicks.
Yeah, Zest Achilles is going to be pretty cool, so stay tuned for that.
Up.
And then another comment here is from Zastin. He said, let's be honest, nobody going to use high mode, so you can minus times 2. So what he's saying is, because of high mode, that's why Achilles, the new BU Achilles, is going to get so many modes.
48.
But if you don't use high mode, you can cut that by half.
Yeah, so 24 modes.
That's still a lot.
It's still a ton. It's more modes than we've seen in any other Beyblade.
Yeah.
But that's a good point, though. Like,
Good point.
we don't even use high mode that often.
Yeah,
so,
we don't like it that much.
Yeah.
High mode's more like compatibility for using other parts.
At least BU has finally given high mode some more purpose, which is nice, right? Like with Xiphoid Excalibur.
That was nice, yeah.
Right? And even Kirbyus as well, right? The gimmick changes.
Yeah.
So if BU keeps on doing that, then there actually is reasons to change up your combo to high mode. Definitely.
For sure.
So that segues pretty well into the Xiphoid Excalibur unboxing that we did within like the last week or so. We got a few comments from there. So obviously throughout the unboxing we asked like, oh, what do you think about the bay? What do you think about the, the launcher? What type of bays would you like to see in the future, right, in BU? So these comments answer those questions. So the first one I have here is from Malachi the Best. They say, unlikely, but I really hope we get a BU Zeus so that we can have the Spin Emperors or the Supreme Four reunite again. I like that. Kind of always forget about those first few guys, the Spin Emperors in the beginning. So yeah, getting Zeus back would be sick. I did mention that in a BBG Talks previously. Like, it'd be pretty awesome to see a Zeus bay because we haven't seen one since Evolution.
Mm-hmm. We're going to get a new Regulus bay.
Regulus, yeah. Regulus needs redo entirely because the first bay was so bad.
They will never get one.
But I feel like the lion motif is a very popular one.
That's true. That's
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they did Regulus dirty.
We're gonna get a high tower dash driver.
Just absolute trash. That'd be hilarious. So another comment that I have here, which is a pretty interesting one because it's like, I would say some criticism for Xiphoid Excalibur. It's from the Gaming Bros saying, I like the new Excalibur, but I feel like they could have made it look a little bit different instead of making it look like the older ones. Because ever since Ultimate Valkyrie, all DB and BU bays have been made to look similar to the previous generations, which is kind of cool. Like, it pays tribute to the old ones, which I think a lot of people like.
Yeah.
But then there's, the flip side of that coin there, where people like the Gaming Bros, they want something entirely new.
Original, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is like when they do something original, like Belio, for example, everyone hates on it. And then like they don't ever get another like release.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the thing is, like, they want something new but good. So, I mean, they can just make new and good. Because like Dynamite Belio was like trash.
That's the thing, when they make a totally original like design, it takes too much kind of development. Like, they need to regrow the like fan base again, like, whereas if they just do something similar to the most popular thing, it's always going to get recognition. So,
but I mean, then there's bays like Helios and Hyperion. Like, those were completely new motifs.
True.
And they were bangers right off the bat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, the concepts were pretty cool. So
that's true.
That Takara Tomy can definitely do it.
It really depends on how much investment they want to do on those characters.
Yeah, they have to execute it very well, right? If they want it to be liked. I think they made, Belial pretty underwhelming, and that was definitely not a good idea right off the bat. Like, the gear upgrades was sweet, but then you made the original version so bad that everyone basically lost all hype for it.
Or maybe just the character in general. Maybe
Bell
like,
was
no one really connected. I'm sure there's fans out there, but like
Bell was trash
compared to other characters.
One last comment from that Excalibur unboxing. This is from Kawahoshi Yagito, saying that the launcher feels a bit heavy for my hands, but overall it's pretty comfortable to hold. So that's interesting, because I was mentioning that it felt pretty good using it. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Like, you used it a couple times now.
It's interesting that the bay is sort of like tilted on one side, so like when you hold it you kind of feel the weight like shifting on one, where like, because the bays are so heavy now, right?
Yeah.
So when you put the prongs on like one side, it just feels weird, maybe.
Like, you're thinking that they could have centered the prongs a little bit more?
Maybe, but I think maybe they're trying to also make sure you don't hurt yourself when you rip it.
Yeah, like you want to have your hands
the guard
further
is
away.
like right there where your grip is.
Yeah.
Overall I think I like it. I like it.
It is pretty comfortable to hold.
Yeah.
I find that it feels pretty good launching too. Like, I don't get some cheap sounds or anything like that I got from like the digital sword launcher. Like, sometimes like when you launched with the digital one, it sounded pretty sus. It's like just cheap plasticky, high pitched and all that stuff. Like, I just find that the build on the new one is a lot better. And we haven't even customized it yet either. Like, we haven't changed like the spin unit and stuff like that. So
cool.
Overall I like the launcher a lot. So hopefully you guys pick up that Bay, because it's a really good bang for the buck. Brand new Excalibur and brand new launcher too.
True that.
And I think that's pretty much it. That's all I have for comments.
Yeah, I think that's it. So let us know. I think the big news of this video is that there's going to be a 4th gen, like a new Beyblade Saga.
Yep. So tell all your friends, tell all your families. Anyone that was doubting you, be like, yo, Beyblade's dead, bruv. Nah.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave those comments in the comment section below. Once again, that is pretty much it. We'll see you in the next episode. Honestly, every other episode of BBG Talks at this point is never going to be as exciting as this one, because this one's unreal.
Well, I'm sure when they actually announce it,
some new products,
we will actually, because otherwise we're just basing this whole video on one sentence. Yeah. It is confirmed, so that's all actually we needed. So
then they're gonna release a press statement and be like, yeah, we canceled Beyblade entirely. So it wasn't worth it.
The next financial call.
Yeah, never. It's not gonna happen. We're living on forever. Let's go, baby. BBG for life. All right, see you in the next one. As always,
Geeks out.